Peace and blessings, spiritual community, peace and blessings, kings, queens, gods, goddesses, all the beings. So it's your girl, Goddess Trinity, coming in here, and this, I do believe, is volume 4. I still have to upload the other volume, but I wanted to come in as I was sitting here and receiving messages in about motivation, inspiration, pretty much what do we feed ourselves when we are doing things that are new, things that is around conscious awareness, intuition, spiritual, just growth in general. And I had this long dialogue that started playing as I was sitting here eating my oatmeal, and I was like, wow, whoa. And at first, I was going to go and take it to Facebook and I was going to type it all out. And I still might type out a good bit of it. But this is one of the things that, why I created my YouTube channel and why I wanted to do these volumes is that when this stuff comes in, to be able to give the insight, the perspective, and where I'm at in it, but also versus where I've come from. Because sometimes, and I know for me, in the beginning, this worked for me, and that sometimes it still does, because examples, right? We love examples. So, in that being said, and also we love stories because examples can also lead to other things, but we love the stories, right? Not necessarily, keeping you unhealed, but the fact of if you are doing something and someone has done it and they have brilliant results from it, it's like, oh yeah, that's that fire that you want at that time, which what is that? That's feeding yourself. That is also motivating, encouraging, and inspiring, right? But I want to go deeper into motivating, encouraging, inspiring, those type of things, because it's not always for the greater good. And I didn't notice that until I was like, okay, well, let's really, look into, what it is and what I've learned from it. Now, in the beginning, years ago, motivation is this thing, motivational speeches, what, or when I was in corporate America, one of the things that when we used to have conference calls, was, well, how can you motivate your team? That part, right? So all this is geared towards something greater, something bigger, something elevated. That way, hyping people up, hence motivational speak. Then it's how do you encourage them? How do you find ways to encourage them and inspire and all the things. So all that to me, just to give you that little bit of tip, that is my background before I decided to do different. So that is what I look for. Now, in that, I didn't really get from childhood or young adulthood, motivation in that way. And so I use air quotes in that way because I'm stating something that I did not receive. Doesn't necessarily mean you didn't receive it, but that is something that I'm saying that I did not. So fast forward to now, and I'm looking at, and I'm giving this message out to one of my mentees, and how do you feed yourself? How do you? What do you listen to? What do you watch? Who do you talk to? Those type of things. What environment um are you in? What environment do you cohabitate with? Because that right there is going to be a big telltale sign if you are shifting or if you are existing. And there is one that goes even further. Existing in the knowing that you can be better. That part, right? So I was going back and I was like, man, when I was still grieving my grandmother's back in 2016 to about 2018, my motivation at that time was people supporting my grief in a way of me either the pain and what I wanted to do, because there were some things that I wanted to do. I'm not going to speak them here. And they encouraged me. They supported me. They fed that in me. Hence, my songs, my TV, my algorithm. Still motivation. It was for me to do something that I wanted to do. Didn't make a difference if I was angry or if I was happy. If I was pissed off or if I was joyous. It was still motivation and encouragement and support. But back then, there was something in me that said, no, that's not what you want to do, Crystal. And my life has always been like this, spiritually aware or not. It's always been like this. But when you have that conscious awareness, it hits different. It can really be funny sometimes. So then I was in another group because community support, right? We're communal beings. And what I was desiring at that time, I was getting motivation, encouragement, those type of things. And at that point, I had a few role models. Well, I call them role models because they modeled the role that I was just desiring to have. So there we go. And so I'm like, okay, this is what's up. But I'm gonna tell you, because when you are in a undeveloped, unhealed, let's just say, because I had traumas and things that I was not bringing to the light yet, those were also motivating and encouraging and inspiring for me to stay my ass there, because I wanted to hop out and hop into something else without doing the work. Now, back then, I didn't know doing the work was so necessary. So it was like, yeah, let's just go ahead on and do this. And I received support and all the things. But what I was receiving also was the amplified, unhealed traumas for me to get to the other side. That's why I tell people, be very mindful of what you ask for. Because if you have a shadow in it, and if you don't have enough momentum in seeing it, transmuting it, and moving on without the feeling, the emotion, the story keeping you down, then you're going to have to step back a couple steps. Now, the momentum is on super speed, but it came with years of experience doing it, the commitment, the willingness, but also the ability to accept myself fully and allow myself to shed in front of, if it was shedding in front of the Pope, I did not care. I didn't care. I'll tell you, my husband had said this. I had a conversation with him when I had began being aware in my spiritual, like really taking the walk. I told him, I said, I am unwavering. Anytime when I stand up, especially in certain areas in my home, you have it as well. I was like, I'm unwavering. And I knew when I said it, I didn't know to the magnitude of what that was going to be. I just knew that, hey, if I've done it this way for this long, then I already know who I am in this. There's going to be some control. There's going to be some surrender. Excuse me, I don't know what happened just now. There's going to be some control things. There's going to be times where I'm not going to want to surrender. There's going to be my stubbornness. There is going to be all these things that is going to hit me like I'm in a Mike Tyson match and feel like I am at, how many rounds is it? 13. And I'm on that last motherfucking round. But bitch, I'm going to get up because I'm unwavering. And it was like that for a while. And I had to really use my discernment in, is my community supporting my victim and all that, my imposters and all that, and my fears, or are they really supporting me and guiding my light? Now, let me put a pin in that, because some people will be like, well, you should just try another community. That was the community that I was in at that time. That's what I chose. And I chose them to support my fears. I did not know I was doing it at that time because it didn't look that way. I did not have that level of awareness from my third eye to see that. As a seer, I can see, but when you go through things and it's just what it is. So that's where I was at, and that's what was feeding me at the time. There was a definitely turning point in this, and that is when, to make a long story short, is when I was introduced to Reiki. Now, my introduced to Reiki, I still say to this day, it is so odd how this entered my life, because I was so far from what Reiki, is, and all the things, that I was like, huh? What? Just like that. Huh? But it's something so funny when the universe brings you things that is just so avant-garde, right? And I was like, and then my higher self was like, you did say unwavering, right? And I was like, bitch. I was like, yep, I did. So let's just giving all honor and thanks to my spiritual mother that was at that time showing me how to surrender and be present. That's a whole nother story, a whole nother day. So I had all that hitting me. I'm still in this boxing match, y'all. Still in the match. And so Reiki came in. And I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, energy? What? The man was on the thing. What happened to his toe? What? It flows through. So when I have my students, and I know this volume is really different, y'all, but look, one thing about me, I am a role opener. So if you listen to this, your world is going to change. Now it's up to you and what you decide to do with it. But anytime I speak, yeah, I'm just gonna let you know that. And that is no ego trip, no flex or whatever the people be saying, no pun. I don't know what it is now. It's the truth. 100% truth. Just like that. So I'm looking at this thing like, so my students, and I tell them, I said, look, Reiki, when it comes in, even though it is a beautiful healing modality, cross the board, ain't nothing like it, but it will shake up some things. And when it came in for me, it did just that. Now, it wasn't no shake up like a a little rattle, little razzle dazzle, a little child hitting a little, no. That bad boy was like a tornado. Boom, 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 bam. What they say, but Shango is the thing of thunder. So yeah, all that and more. Oceans clashing. Yes, that part. So my initiation into Reiki was very fun. I say that because that's how it was really. Once I started looking back at it, now in the thick of it, it was not. But as I continue, because once again, the goal. And I want to really hone in on the goal. Are you clear on what it is that you want? Because if you're not clear, then you're going to automatically think that something that you're doing new is not for you. I'm going to tell you that right now. Sugar, honey, iced tea, all the things. It will not. You'll be like, oh yeah, no. You'll automatically be to tell yourself inside and out, speak it out loud, and have co-signers on. Yeah, girl, you shouldn't. Yeah, man, I know, I was supporting you, but I was thinking in the back of my head, like, what is he or she doing? And see, that right there is where you just stepped off your throne, just that fast. So I stayed in it. And things started shifting. My encouragement, my motivate, all those things started to shift. And I began to notice what I was feeding myself, what I was listening to, what I was placing into my body, into my energy field. And the things that I was putting in was the reason why I was getting the results. So if I wanted a different result, then what has to happen? Change. Now, I didn't have a mentor to Gatto mentor as far as guiding through shadows, which excuse me, a couple of years ago it made sense to me. Before that I was like, well, damn, nobody can help a girl. But see, I come from shadows. I guide people through shadows. It was for me to evolve that, to really hone in on that and really let it blossom without someone giving me play by play. Let's just say it like that. So, in this volume here, what motivates you? When you want encouragement or inspiration, who's giving it to you? Do you even have someone? Or do you have a thing? Do you listen to someone? Do you read books? Do you watch movies? Do you listen to songs? And even in that, is it motivating you, encouraging you, inspiring you, and keeping you on the track of your goal? Are you moving forward like the train does? Chicka, 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 choo, choo. Or are you at the railroad track, stop, backing up the cars because they got the line down when the train stops and you are waiting for your cargo of the motivation, the inspiration, the encouraging words to get on board, which even in all that, all of it exists within you. Are you speaking it out? Do you know what it is that you truly want? Do you know what does that look like? Do you know what it feels like? Do you know what it tastes like? Do you know what it feels like when your adrenaline goes up and you're just in that passion and you're just motivated? Do you really capture that experience and say, ooh, oh, that worked, yes. Ooh, I want more of that. Give me more of that. Or do you take it as a one-time Band-Aid effect and thinking that you're not deserving to get it more, or you think that you're supposed to get it out of the mud because all your life you had to fight? See, these are the real questions. These are the questions that get to the meat and potatoes. These are the questions where if you are impeccable with your word and you do not lie to yourself, which is the same, then you will move mountains when you bring your answer out to the light and also make a change if you decide and choose to. Even bringing it to the light is a weightlifter. But then insight and change in something that you are desiring, man, that's like best Mr. Boombastic, just like that. That's what it's like. So take a look around, inventory your home, inventory your space, inventory your insides, and ask. Now, I bet you if you ask the question, can you motivate people? That's going to be hell yes. You're going to tell me, oh, yeah, I do this all the time. Da, 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 da. Inspire people, encourage people. I'm their cheerleader, support guru, and all the things. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now go in that mirror and hype yourself out. Hype yourself up. You, your bestie, hype yourself up. Ain't that a song? Yes. Because what you attract is what you will become. What you become is what you will attract. Give it to yourself first. And then create the space in receiving it in a way that is elevating and assisting and supporting you in your goals. If not, then why are you doing it? Like, no, seriously, why are you doing it? one thing about me now, and it's been a minute, but it takes time in some things, and I love to process and reflect. It's like I get community is huge, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for my energy and for yours, because we are all connected, it ain't for you to be in the midst of 10,000 people, 5,000, even 50. A lot of your stuff is done from afar. And then when you want to get out and commune, you can and still completely feel whole and grounded and all the things. But when you are not that, and a lot of your inner work has not been done, when you go out, you have sense of overwhelm, overthinking, you got doubts, worry, self-esteem, confidence. And if you know how energy works, when you surround yourself around a lot of people and you are doing self work and you have some darkness things, it is going to be brought to light in the reflections of the people that are out there in front of you. And you wonder why you have all types of sense of feelings of what is going on within your body and your mindset. It's stirring. It's stirring. It's like you sitting there making a big old pot of stew and it's sitting there, but once you stir it, that bad boy coagulating, the aromas start sifting out, and that's where a lot of the magic happens. It's the same with your insides. So if you don't do it, then someone is going to bring it for you to do it. You're going to feel a little bit of discomfort, and then that's when you're going to make a move, which in essence, which is going to be another volume in how you learn, because when you know how you learn, you can make adjustments quickly and accordingly. And you know what? This is where I am choosing to end. So I am complete on this volume. What motivates you? How are you encouraged? What encouragement? Being inspired, inspiration, all those things. I want you to take notes, journal, and over the next 3 days, if you fully listen to this, you'll see why. So, yeah. So, I am still at the end of this giving away a freebie. And so, today, the freebie will be one of my blood orange foot soaks. So, yeah. So, reach out to me and let me know that, hey, I listened to your YouTube channel and I listened to this volume and you told me to reach out and that I can get a free blood orange foot soak. So if you follow me on any of my platforms, you know exactly how to reach me. So with that being said, I want everyone to have a fun and fabulous day. I want you to go out there and just let life love on you. Okay? This is your girl, Goddess Trinity. Now go be great because you got this.